guess
dude.
kinda, if you consider it that way, but not really.
Yeah. But anyways,
If you've
not
seen, you saw Oh Brother Where Art Thou, you've seen Inside Llewyn Davis. So.
okay.
Interesting.
Okay, I see. Well, we'll get into that.
I mean, I could see the comparison, but like,
Yeah.
I also just like think that Inside Llewyn Davis was just way more depressing than.
Oh, it definitely is.
And,
It's definitely more
and in a
depressing.
way, I feel like it's kind of the opposite because he's more like. Well, we'll get into it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we are live, boys, so I mean, we'll just get right into this shit if you want.
Fire it off. Yeah.
Inside Llewyn Davis going like, yeah, let's fuck it.
Start on the
Or
down.
should we
bring
start
it
with
up.
our movie chest like we usually do?
Let's start with the movie chest. Let's get it out the way. It's a short one, quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy
Yeah.
watch.
I don't really have a lot to say, to be honest, about Buried or True
fair
Grit,
enough.
really. So,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I was
well.
one of the people that picked Buried this week. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting concept. Got Ryan Reynolds.
all
Pretty
in
short.
one
Maybe those are
box.
all the
Yeah.
factors.
What can they do? What can they do in a
Yeah.
box with a cell phone, a flashlight, and a lighter?
Right.
Yeah. I was talking
Uh,
to, I feel like for an hour and a half, I feel like that was still like too much time for this kind of concept.
Yeah.
It's like interesting that like they wanted to do this, like where the whole thing is in a fucking coffin. But like, I don't know. I was talking to like other people about this movie, and I think we all agreed that it probably would have been better as like a short film or something.
Yeah, it could have been, definitely.
Because
You
like,
get
I don't
the
know.
idea pretty
I
easily.
feel like you kind of get like lost in the weeds of the plot in this because like there's just a bunch of shit getting thrown at you, and like you kind of don't really know what's what. And like there were some things that kind of just like got left by the wayside. Like he questions one woman like how she knew his name, and because he didn't tell them his name, and she said like that she got it from his company because they had called or something like that. But I don't know. I kind of took that as like they were trying to lead you somewhere else where like the people on the phone were not actually who they said they were or something like that.
They have other knowledge that the character
I
doesn't or
think
something.
it was just they didn't want this to get out. I mean, it's just how the
The
three-letter
news feed.
agencies work.
Yeah.
They just want to look good. They don't want their America or whatever their companies that maybe they endorse, like the CRT company. Clearly, that was a whole situation there where they made up all kinds of bullshit about him just to clear their name.
Yeah.
So I think those little like caveats when he's making all the calls, I think it gave the movie more life than the movie should have had, just because it kind of gave us a taste of other dramas and I don't know, more
outside information.
That's true.
And
yeah, I think you had to do something like that for an hour and a half,
Right.
like, or else you're just gonna watch him grunt in a box for an hour.
Yeah.
Is this the movie with the most grunts, like per
I can see
time
it.
of movie?
I actually just watched a movie tonight that has more, because I watch with subtitles, it has more grunts and exhales than any movie I've ever seen in my
What was it?
life. It was called The Passenger. It just came out last year.
Oh, okay. And
like,
what is that? Why is there so much grunting?
Well, the kid who is playing our antagonist or our protagonist, the protagonist is like he's supposed to be awkward and uncomfortable and not so sure about himself and not confident. So that means he just does a lot of
stuttering.
Like Morty
Yeah,
kind of
it's
shit.
yeah, and it's
Oh,
just
jeez.
the kid, the protagonist, kind of turned into the antagonist for me. I kind of hated him by the end of the movie just because I'm like, nobody is this spineless. I'm sorry, nobody is this spineless.
He's just the passenger, bro. He's not the driver.
That is exactly right.
Nail on the head on that one. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I was like, I feel like like his character did more to win me over the more time went on. Because like, even in the first half hour, I was like, yeah, I was kind of feeling. I was like, what? How are we gonna? How's it gonna keep us engaged?
Mhm.
And there were some things like some stuff just threw me off where he was like near the end when all the sand's coming in, he gets the call from the one dude who's like actually trying to find him or whatever. And he's like,
Allegedly.
Dad? Allegedly, yeah. He calls him Dad, I think, right? At one point.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
Dad? And he's like, how did you know? And then it just got, I was just like
I
so
don't even
confused.
remember that.
I was so confused. I think that's what I heard.
Well, I mean, the
but
whole last moment is hinging on like you knowing who the fuck Mark is or whatever the hell, because they give you like one line
Mark
about
White.
like Mark
yeah,
White. It happened to
some
Mark
other
White.
dude.
Yeah, and
Didn't
then
he
he
tell
wrote
him?
down that guy's name. Like that was totally
Yeah.
random though that he wrote. I mean, I guess it's not random because like it was
Well,
like the one guy he said his name that they saved, but they didn't actually
yeah,
save him.
Right.
right,
It was,
right.
and that's what he called him out for. So he wrote down Mark White as like, "This is my hope." They found Mark White. They can find
Yeah,
me. But then turns out the guy was
interesting.
full of shit, just like
So
you
that
said.
more like solidifies to me that because I was like grasping to find what this movie was trying to like tell me or what I was supposed to get from this
Yeah,
movie. And I'm
yeah,
assuming it's just that like you shouldn't trust the government, but like I've known that for my whole fucking life. Like I guess like
Yeah.
I don't like
yeah,
why I don't know. I feel like that I don't know, it doesn't really need to be the point that I
yeah.
get out of a
Message.
movie, you know? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe that just means it's not for me. Maybe that means it's for somebody else. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Maybe. I think more like other movies. Like I just watched a movie called The Platform that was on Netflix, where it's like food just descends multiple levels and people eat as
Yeah.
much as they can. And it keeps
I
like,
was curious
and
about
that movie's like extremely like allegorical or like metaphorical, and Buried like has some of that, but it doesn't go like full throttle into metaphor zone. I mean, the government, you're buried underground, they're like keeping you there or whatever, but like it's more of a thriller, you know? So like it has the bones. Like honestly, it was more effective than I thought it would be,
Mhm.
just pacing wise and like
Yeah.
execution wise. But the premise is so like bare bones that it was hard for me to elevate it to like a level of prestige, you know?
I
Yeah.
feel
I
that.
think it goes above and beyond just a little bit when I don't know. First off, Ryan Reynolds is actually acting and not just being, Ryan Reynolds, which is
It's
kind of
one of his
refreshing.
best
Mhm.
performances, honestly. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And like them just adding little like flavor text with his calls and not like cutting like any other movie would have just cut to those other people on the line, and just took you out of the whole scenario, but the whole time you're stuck in the box with him. You're claustrophobic with him. So that was super effective.
yeah. That's a good
Mhm.
So
point.
I think the movie is effective. I mean, I've watched it several times at this
Hmm.
point, and I mean, it's rewatchable. And this time, actually, I liked it. I think the most because I was actually like honed in on what it was trying to tell me, rather than just being like, "This is a good performance. This is a good like setup for just a good claustrophobic thriller."
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Yeah, I feel
that's
like
what I
it
took
did.
away.
Yeah, it had okay theme. I feel like by the end of the movie when he doesn't get saved, that all came together for me. Where I was like, okay, they didn't save Mark White. The guy was essentially just trying to give him hope when we know the protocols to not negotiate with terrorists, and they just bomb the shit out of
Yeah.
where they
But
think
they
they're
dug up
operating.
actual Mark White, right? That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they were like trying to do something, but they didn't get the right information from the terrorist or whatever.
hmm
right.
Um,
Yeah.
seems like he
yeah.
was
Wrong,
definitely
wrong
like
white
I
guy
don't know.
buried.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that too. Matt and I were talking about this like I don't know Monday I think. It's like there was like an extra step where like I don't actually think that Mark Wall or fucking Brian Reynolds should have been like buried. Like I feel like that was just like an extra step that was kind of unnecessary, but it was like integral to the plot. Like
Mhm.
because they
There's a
were
lot of
like
plot holes in
using
this.
him to like write or like to have him post a YouTube video for ransom, and they were blackmailing him with another hostage when they could have just used her to post the video for the ransom
Yeah.
I get
instead
what
of
you're
burying a
saying.
person.
I was
So
Like
like
asking
questioning
him to
why
cut his
they're
finger off.
burying people. Because like
yeah,
if
I feel
Mark
like it's
White
just
and a
too
few
much
other
trouble.
Americans,
Like
yeah, if Mark White and a few other Americans are already buried and they haven't gotten their ransom money, it's like why are they still trying this out? It just makes like little sense to me.
Mhm.
But
5 million money.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
ridiculous.
to be quite honest, I think the end for me didn't really land. It kind of like
Yeah,
betrayed the whole journey for me a little bit. And the
that's
way I can like, yeah,
that was gonna say that red herring of the him actually getting saved.
yeah. I
I don't
guess
know,
like if you
I
have
like
this
that.
concept of like you're contained and underground and buried for an hour and a half, like you don't ever get to the full expression of the point for me where you get to like feel freedom in sunlight. And I know
Mhm.
that's like a hopeful ending and it's more realistic, you could say, or whatever. But to me, it's not like compelling because it like this movie, it's a thriller and it has horror elements, but really it's a thriller. It's all timeline focused and like getting information focused and stuff like that. So if it was more horror based, I'd be on board. But for a thriller, I need more like payoff at the end. You know what I'm saying? And this one doesn't. I mean, it has a payoff, but it's not the one I want. You know, so like, I just feel like I need to be out of the box at the end of this movie.
Okay,
And
that's what I was about to ask then too, because like I agree with what you said, Alex, where I don't know if I would have liked like the cutaways to every call he's making. But I think I would have liked to see, I don't know, some of like the organizations trying to do something like actual behind the scenes work of like what they're doing to find this guy. And if they keep it between like, you know, his storyline and maybe like one or two other like, you know, other ones, then it's like that feeling of isolation that it's like really driving for would feel maybe more impactful, because it's like, okay, we know what's outside, we know what's happening, how close are we? I don't know, add it to that thriller, to that like anxiety ridden thing.
I wrote a note that other movies would have taken like the Iron Man approach, where it's like you get to know Tony Stark outside of his like captivity, and then he gets sent to a cave where he like has to deal with like all of his issues or whatever. Yeah. So you get to like get the vibe and then see how he changes. Yeah. I kind of appreciate starting right in the box for this, like the black screen at the beginning. It made me almost like question if my shit was playing, and then it was like, oh, we're just right into it. And I like not leaving it, but I want to leave it at the end. I want to have the emotional catharsis of leaving the dark box, and I just the filmmaker didn't want that. That's cool. I did. I don't know.
I guess I was more on board with the idea of just staying in the box, because that was the experience he was giving us. Like even when it like does the whole like the God shot, it's like box all the way up. You know, you're always in the box with him, no matter what. So
yeah. I guess I attribute it to like The Mist, because I like the Mist ending where it's like completely unhopeful or whatever. But like I said before, it's like that's a horror movie and it fits more with the universe of like unending, you know, mist or horror or whatever that world is attacked by.
That nihilism.
I guess you could say this one's realistic too. I don't know. It just didn't land for me like The Mist does. Maybe it's just because I didn't have as much characters or like setting.
Gross monsters.
I could see that for sure.
I love me some gross monsters.
Maybe I just more so like just depressing endings in my movies or something, because I mean The Mist slaps. I love the ending of that. I mean the ending of the book is open ended. It's basically a write your own ending, and that's what the person who made the movie did. So yeah, I don't know. And then like with this one, I thought that it paid off. I mean, him dying just felt fitting. I mean, he's stuck down there.
Yeah.
I mean, we never get out. I don't know.
He's a smart character though, and I want to see him succeed. You know, like
like I did appreciate that. The only thing is like I don't know if he'd have that much oxygen. You know, I mean he was
in there for a while.
He's burning that lighter.
He was using a lot. The lighter, that fucking fire he had in there to get the snake. I don't know.
That was another question I had. Is like, so he's got this lighter, and then he also has a flashlight, and he also has a glow stick, and it's like, why do you need the lighter? Because lighter looks cool in the box, like lighting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know? So it's kind of dumb, especially and like the plot holes that up.
Yeah.
When he lights the lighter at the beginning, and it's just like this flashing light, and you're already got anxiety, and
just wake
at
up
the end too, when it
dark hole.
Yeah. No, that was clear. I mean, I agree. It's kind of dumb to have so many light sources, but from like it's like, oh, I like that they like, thought like artistically, what can we do in this box? And
like how can we change this up somehow?
Like how do we change the vibe?
Light now.
Exactly. Sure. What is the character feeling? Green light, warm light.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if he would just trained under the cruel tutelage of Pai Mei, he would have just gotten out of the box.
That's what I was gonna say. Like like much better coffin scene or coffin sequence. You know.
Yeah.
Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she gets out.
Yeah. But also, I mean, we're not with her in the coffin for like the same amount of time.
And she's a fucking cartoon character. So
essentially.
And she's a goddamn legend. So
yeah, she's like a superhuman or whatever. I mean,
what do you think?
You got to respect
5 attack, 5 health.
There we go.
Sorry.
5-point palm technique, right?
Yeah.
You
Yep.
got to respect the budget for this movie too, like 3 million, 2 million, something like dollars. One location, like.
Yeah.
I mean, it made the most of what it could do with such a tiny budget. So, you got to commend it.
Did it?
Especially the
Do you
pacing.
know if it like performed well? Yeah, the pacing for sure. But did it perform well?
I think it made more than its
compared to the movie?
budget
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
okay.
But I think it was maybe like
That's
20
cool.
to 30 mil. I don't
Yeah,
know.
let me look it up.
That's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, job well done. You made the money back. You got the people interested in your concept, and you didn't spend a lot for it. So
And you pulled
That's
like
good.
the best Ryan Reynolds performance.
yeah,
Like,
there's like
today,
no
so.
hint of his like sarcasm or like over
it's-
ironic nature
Right.
nowadays that he has.
The one time was when he made the phone call to his wife's friend and he called her a cunt, which one of the best uses of the word cunt in a movie. So
Yep.
brilliant.
That's another problem I had though with the movie is similar to Weekend at Bernie's, where it's like people just talk at a dead body with no like response needed, and you have to like accept that for 30 people in a row. The same happened with the phone calls for me in this movie, where it's like, "Don't hang up! I'm kidnapped! I need your help! Why are you yelling at me? Don't yell at me! Fuck you!" It's like if somebody
Yeah.
called me and said I'm kidnapped, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like-
Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
That's what I'm saying. When he called her a cunt, I'm like, you know what? You're kind of right. I mean, this bitch just hung up on you, and you're like, yeah, I am buried. I am kidnapped, and she's just like, dick.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of unbelievable how many times it happens where you have to keep having people not believe him or be like, "Oh yeah, we'll get to you in a minute. Call you back."
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
At a certain point, it was
story.
just too stretched hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I rated it pretty low. I gave it a 2.5, but I don't know. I was gonna go 3, and then the end just kind of I just didn't like it, so
Yeah.
I just gave it. I went with 2.5.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I think
It's
I
not
about
bad.
3.5. It's
Yeah.
solid. The rewatchability really bumps up my movies for me, though.
I could see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I
So,
definitely would like revisit this one, I think. Yeah.
I did want to say, what the fuck is going on with that opening sequence? That's one of the worst opening sequences I've ever seen. I think, where it's just like
oh,
the
yeah.
blue and yellow lines that are like making
Oh.
weird shapes, and it's just like,
Yeah, that was weird.
who fucking?
I don't even
like,
remember that.
it has like almost no bearing to, and there's like shitty dirt input like in the background. And it's like with light
Hey,
on
they
it
only
somehow,
had $3
even though
million
you're underground.
budget, man.
Yeah, they just hired his cousin to fucking make
It's
the
just
intro
like
or some
opening
shit.
sequence. What the fuck?
I was surprised
just
that it
pretty
even
lame,
had it.
kind of
Yeah,
goofy.
I was like, this is the type of movie that, all right, sure.
Right.
It's just like Microsoft PowerPoint.
But still, dude, I thought it was like legit, just like After Effects. Yeah.
It's not that far off. Yeah.
Some
But
interns
yeah,
work.
like I said, more effective than I thought it'd be. I think the pace is a huge highlight. Obviously, of like I didn't
Yeah.
get bored really, and the snake I thought was a fun touch, even though it's kind of goofy. But
Yeah, I mean, they put a bunch of action inside a box, like more action than you think could be put in a little box,
Mhm.
and for 90-minute runtime. Because, yeah,
It's a challenge.
effective.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun one. That's a good concept movie. I'm glad we picked it. We'll see what we got next week. Can pick after the stream or something if you guys want.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Sounds good.
Well, let's talk some more Coen Brothers, eh?
Oh, yeah.
We're nearing the end of the journey.
What do we got? 2 more left, right?
2 more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Buster Scruggs. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah, let's talk. We had a double feature again this week because for the Coens, I think you got to chip away a little harder, or else you're going to be here for extra months to weeks.
Yeah.
But because this is our longest dive, and I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Mhm.
Oh, I can feel it.
I feel
My
nothing.
feelings. I'm depressed. Well,
So dark.
probably for other things, but
Yeah, I mean, the
still,
movie just
probably also
amplified it.
from fucking Coen Brothers.
Well, let's get
I mean,
into these ones. We got True Grit and we got Inside Llewyn Davis. So talk a little True Grit first.
Yeah.
Get that one out of the way.
I think this is their most, I guess, positive movie, I would say. Their most, I mean,
It's
it's
kinda
the
good,
least
yeah.
nihilistic, I would say. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
like message of like, everything sucks, nothing really matters.
I would
It's
say
actually like a
there's
good.
pretty much no nihilism or infidelity.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Look at them. They're growing.
basically not themselves at all.
Yeah.
right.
I think they're westerns, maybe. Yeah, because I was thinking about Buster Scruggs when you like in the vein of infidelity and nihilism. Nihilism's definitely there.
Yeah.
Infidelity, though, I don't think there's any plot lines with that. So maybe they're trying to steer away from that stuff a little bit in the later years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes
I
so
mean,
many
this was
different
also
nice
like
ones.
pretty much based on, you know, the old movie, which I
Mhm.
haven't seen the old version, so like I don't know like how.
Yeah, me either.
But I guess I think it said it's based on a book before
Yeah.
that. So like I don't know. I guess, you know, there's two different things they could pull from probably.
Mhm.
But overall, like it was pretty solid. I thought all of the like actors did a pretty good job actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Is Jeff Bridges like just one of the greatest actors of
yeah, just
his
like
time? I
thinking
mean,
about how much different like this part is from like the fucking Big Lebowski. Like
well,
Yeah.
they're just so
look,
fucking.
looking back on the Big Lebowski, like his performance in that is like so fucking good. And then
Yeah,
this is a completely different performance, but it's so fucking good.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, is
Got
he like,
range.
yeah, I don't know.
I think maybe it was Bad Times when we talked about it, but he's got like
Yeah,
such a way of bringing you into his like performances that it's like almost,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
that's what makes him a
Yeah.
great actor, I think, is he can
Like
like,
from his opening scene, even where he's like on trial there, just like talking, like you're just like, I'm just like, what's the story
glued.
this guy's telling?
Yeah.
Like
It's his drawl or something, or it's just like his manner of like attitude when he talks, but something about it, really brings you in.
it's got the stuff.
This
Yeah.
is Cohen's most profitable movie. Did you know that?
Really?
Interesting.
I could
I
see
would
that
not
for
have guessed
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
guess since it's
surprised
based
by
on the
I
old
guess
one,
I
it's kind of
could
like
see
a,
that. Yeah, they had
property
the
that people
draw
know.
from old people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And definitely at this time, I mean, with Matt Damon, Jeff Bridges,
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, I could see it pulling, a crowd.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, like
So,
I didn't realize like how many just like minor-ish roles Josh Brolin has. I guess it's only like two. Like No Country for Old Men, his character is just like, I mean, he's one of the three main characters, I would say, and he's just kind of, I don't know. He doesn't have that much time in the movie, I feel like almost.
Yeah.
But I guess
in which one? No
in this
Country.
one,
Or
True
this
in
Grit?
No
one?
Country or
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one. I mean, this one, he has like
True
barely
Grit,
any
yeah.
screen time. So
Yeah. He comes
Yeah.
like an hour and a half into the movie or some shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Almost.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And he's doing a fucking crazy accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's putting on a voice for sure.
So what'd
I
you guys think, I guess, of the movie? I
Yeah.
mean, have you guys seen it before or
I have
No.
seen this
Once.
one time.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot more this time. I did note that I think this is one of the Coen brothers movies that I have the least to say about.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
it's bad, but it really just
Yeah.
doesn't like give me. I don't know, it's like a standard Western done really well, but I guess Westerns
Exactly.
are kind of their own thing and you get what you get with them. So you can't really like complain or find gripes in there, but
That's
Yeah.
what, okay, so I watched it before and I enjoyed it then, but like this rewatch, I don't know, maybe I just appreciated it more because I just was like, this is like a perfectly done Western, like a perfectly done modern Western. I had no complaints. It made me laugh. The characters were all good. The child actor in it was actually very good. She wasn't
Okay.
like she was a
Yeah.
know-it-all, but it wasn't like an obnoxious know-it-all because, when she was wrong or put in her place, it was done. It wasn't just like she's untouchable or, those kinds of
Mm.
things. So it was just like super good character work and just I love westerns, so the fact that it's just like such a well-crafted western is just good.
The
So
I
dialogue.
also
I
think they're
really it
too, like,
really amplified the movie for me this rewatch. So
nice.
definitely liked it a lot more.
I think there are like certain details too that I kind of focused on that were like kind of cool that they pointed them out. Like how they're debating if Jeff Bridges shot Matt Damon when it was dark. Because like
Yeah.
after that, before they referenced that it was dark, I'm just like, holy fuck. Like I think it was when they were first at a campfire and Matt Damon said something about how they usually set up camp away from their fire because like then people will spot them or whatever. And like I was just thinking about it back in the day with no light pollution in the sky. I mean, it was like so fucking dark. Like I don't know if you guys have been in an area with no light pollution, but like it is like
Where I
so
live,
fucking dark.
I go
Like it
outside and it is like cave dark.
yeah,
Every
like,
day.
and that's like what was then. So it's like him shooting from that distance at night, like pitch black. Like,
With one eye.
I feel like that was like
Yeah.
a really good detail because, like, I mean,
Yeah.
who the fuck knows? Like, it's fucking pitch black. Like,
It's
who
the
knows
Wild
what he's
West,
shooting
man.
at? Like,
People are getting shot in dumb ways. People are just falling
yeah.
off their horse and shit. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, their whole dynamic was great.
Yeah.
Matt Damon and,
Yeah.
and Jeff Bridges' character, fantastic.
The dialogue, like
was-
you said, Noah, it is really solid. I mean,
Yeah.
Cohen's got the touch for dialogue, you know, but they
sure.
reined it in and made it more mature in this one, even though the lines are
Definitely.
like still fun.
Mhm.
One of the lines I wrote down might be my favorite one in the movie is, "I don't entertain hypotheticals. The world as it is vexing enough."
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
good.
like the salesperson that she first goes to in the
Yeah.
first
She's
town.
He
negotiating
said
with.
that as
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
so
just
great.
fucking sarcastic.
Right. So that's
They
got
go
the good
back and
moments.
forth like so many fucking times.
Yeah, when he's like, "Are we bargaining again?" Like,
Yeah. I thought the movie, if I was trying to find gripes, it kind of spends a bit too much time in the first act for me. The salesperson scene the first time is fantastic. And then we eventually like go back to the salesperson. And I felt like we were just kind of like retreading or kind of not moving forward in a way. Even though if
Mhm.
you're in the West, you probably got to go back to the same town you fucking came from to do something. Or, you know, like
Yeah.
it makes sense, but narratively, it feels like we're like not moving. But
And you probably could have just had like a couple shots to like explain the things that had happened in the passage of time, like where she didn't actually have to go back and like I don't know, it was like the ponies and she got like a saddle or something and some money.
Mhm.
So I mean like I don't know if you just like show her with those things in the next shot or something. But I guess like you couldn't explain the ponies, but like I don't you already had it in the first scene, so like you kind of know that it's gonna happen or
Right.
something.
As a script
Yeah.
writer too, you could combine these elements into one scene if you
Mhm.
wanted to, you know, like,
Yeah.
but they didn't. So I don't know. It just felt like I wanted to go faster into the story, and we kind of were taking our time to like, you know, set the scene and then go. But
Yeah. I could see that for sure.
also a lot of different narrators to latch onto. You got like, was her name Maddie? Yeah, Maddie. Got her letters. You got her older self narrating. You got J.K. Simmons thrown in there one time with like a letter. You
Mhm.
know, it's fine, but I don't know. I felt a little bit of like disconnect there, I guess, and just like who was talking to me a bit. But
sure.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know, I almost felt like uh some like tombstone at the end because there's like there's like a flash into the future kind of.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I think in Tombstone there is like because he meets up with that random woman in Tombstone after his wife dies
yeah.
from an
That's such a
overdose. I
weird fucking
think.
ending.
Yeah, that was weird. But I don't know. Yeah.
I did make a note also. A thought crossed my mind when they were like showing how Native American people were treated in this time. It's very harshly realistic, and it wasn't really mean spirited either from the Coens, so I didn't really like fault them for it, honestly. But it just made me kind of like look at their full filmography, and like every movie is just about like white people, but, you know, like and I don't need to be like the guy that's like get some other people in here just out of like
Disney.
some mandate that we have, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Coens really just stick to their bag, you know, in their white man perspective, which is fine. But I think maybe The Lady Killers is like the only movie with like black people in it, or like that have major roles at least, you know.
Yeah.
Probably.
It just made me
Actually,
like
yeah.
flash to
the
Tarantino
only
and
one.
like gain more respect because that man can write every voice, you know, like.
Mhm.
And the Coens, they probably could if they tried, but they won't. So
Yeah, I think they like we've mentioned a couple times. A lot of their like movies pretty much tread the same ground, and I think they just got comfortable in their bag.
Mhm.
And the one time they did get out of their bag, the Lady Killers, it didn't really go well. So
yeah, they're like, let's
I
just go back
mean,
to what we do.
depends
Yeah.
on who you ask, but yeah, it probably
Yeah.
didn't. A majority of the public would agree that the Lady Killers is probably one of their worst. So
It's probably bottom of my list.
I like it, man. I like it.
It's not the bottom of my list, but I mean, it's lower.
It's mid
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I guess like the second half, I found myself losing a bit of interest. I don't know. I think it's with the Cheney discovery. Like we're spent this whole time looking for this guy, and then we get there, and he kind of just is like in the river, and then like the people that they're with don't even take the situation seriously for some reason. Like, why would you ever leave the witness with the murderer alone? Did I miss something, or was that just like plot device to like get conflict? Like
I think there was just a plot device to get conflict.
Yeah.
that's so dumb. Then I don't know.
Well,
like-
I mean, or maybe the guy was 10 steps ahead and he expected them to kill Cheney because I mean, Cheney was obviously the weak link in the gang besides the guy who made animal noises, but they seem to like that guy even more than
Yeah.
Cheney.
Mhm.
So, I mean, maybe they were just anticipating that he'd die.
Maybe.
Yeah. I figured they were just because he was the weakest
Actually,
one. It's just like fuck.
I really
just-
like the
just put it
leader
out.
of that gang. I think that character was really fucking menacing and like
And
Is
well
that the guy from
performed.
Saving Private Ryan?
Smart.
Right?
Yeah.
Sniper.
Yeah.
I
for real.
thought so, but when I like
Yeah.
paused, it said somebody different, I think. But maybe that was just kind of fucked up details, or maybe it was like thinking it was
Someone
somebody else or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
in
like
this
a
gang.
different person, actor, or
I
whatever.
think it was like, isn't that? It's not Matthew Modine, but I think he's related. Am I?
Is he?
I could be wrong. Maybe it's just somebody totally different. And I'm
I
just
don't remember his
I'm
name,
mixing people
unfortunately.
up.
He just got, since I've seen Saving Private Ryan so many times and from such a young age, that guy has, in the sniper character.
Oh, I
is so
know,
cool
yeah.
When I was a kid, like
Yeah,
I
man.
can like always
He's
kinda pick
definitely
him
a
out.
that guy for sure.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
for some reason, like some other parts that he's in just flashed into my head, and he's in that fucking
Battlefield Earth.
the fucking
Oh, yeah.
Scientology movie.
Oh yeah. Makes me think he's a Scientologist probably, but
Hell yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Another win for the Scientologists.
they're getting everybody now.
How the fuck is Tom Cruise not in that movie? Like, they got fucking John Travolta, they got that guy, they got
That's true.
Forrest Whitaker,
Because
which I don't even
Tom
know if Forrest
Cruise
Whitaker is.
He's an idiot.
Yeah,
He's a
got standards still.
legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I'll always think of John Travolta differently now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that and Face Off.
That's true.
Face Off was fucking rad. You
I
kidding
don't
me?
know.
Seen it.
Me neither.
It's
I mean, I
fucking
love
epic.
Nick Cage. I mean,
It's incredible. Such a bad, ridiculous concept, but like,
yeah.
it's so fucking fun.
I am like hyped to see that one just because it's been hyped. It's like, all right, what's this about?
Is it in the movie
It's
chest?
iconic. I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
All
say
right.
so.
I'll vote for it.
But overall, yeah, True Grit. I bumped it up from my 3.5 status to 4.5. So this is a good rewatch for me. Really,
I'm very
appreciated.
tempted to bring it to 4 stars. I have it at 3.5, but
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was gonna say too.
That's why I
Yeah.
waffled.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it is very well done and more mature for the Coens, and a different little try.
It felt good. I don't know. I just felt good watching it again, and it felt like a step. Maybe it was just because it was a little bit more lighthearted than their normal stuff. Like this is a great run so far. Like these 4, was it 4 now? No Country,
Burn after reading.
Burn After Reading, fucking Serious Man. Yeah, these 4 are like bangers, and then now we're back to the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
scenes-
debatable.
I did like
Scenes
the
that-
score in True Grit. It's very simple piano notes, but very effective as well.
It
Yeah.
captures that Western like landscape.
Simplicity.
And yeah. It's nice.
And I made a note too, just because I was like, how the fuck did they do that? Like when Maddie falls backwards into the cave, it's obviously a stunt double or something, or maybe it's like just a dummy. But she literally falls like backwards onto fucking rocks down like.
Yeah.
I was just like, how did
Yeah.
they do that shit? Like
Yeah.
literally, like, was it a stunt person that they threw down like? They
I would 100% believe that it's a stunt person just because listening to the director of John Wick talk about how the staircase they just asked the stunt guy to throw himself down the stairs, and he
Oh
just did
my
it.
god!
And then
At least that one, it's
crazy.
like a sideways rotation for most of it. Like this one is like fall backwards onto your fucking back
Yeah.
and head. It's like, and then
Yeah.
keep like, I was just like, holy shit, man, that's insane.
Don't
If
worry,
that's like
she
a
got
person,
pads on.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would hope. Also,
Shit.
interesting IMDb fact: this was the last movie to be mailed by Netflix when they ended their DVD mail. This is the last DVD that they shipped out.
Damn, that is
Random fact.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
Little,
Yeah,
little history. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
Netflix history there.
right.
Huh.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting rid of my Netflix.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's not really. I guess it's also not really anything to do with what we're talking about, but
I mean, I got rid of Paramount and Peacock because I just wasn't using them.
Not
Yeah.
And then
necessary.
got
Yeah.
Netflix. So I was like, I gotta replace it with something that I might use more.
That's exact. I'm just like thinking about how to optimize my apps.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I kind of want to get rid of some, and
Get to the high seas, boys. I'll meet you there.
yeah, I've been thinking
You
about
wanna
it more
leave?
and more.
I'm
Got a
already
great
there,
link
man.
for
I
ya.
watch basically all my shit on that site that you showed me
Yeah,
nowadays.
it's a great site, man.
It has a lot, and it's pretty smooth too.
Oh yeah, especially I don't know what kind of browser you use. Like if you use Brave browser, it's like no pop-ups, whatever, like
I've got that
whatsoever.
blocker
It's
on
great.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For True Grit though, final note. I just wanted to say, I think Matt Damon saying "adios" or "adios" on the horse
Adios.
as he walks or as he rides away may be one of the most subtle, cool horse shots I've ever seen. There's just something so like simple and cool. But then Jeff Bridges tops it later in the movie with holding the reins in his mouth while firing 2 fucking revolvers.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's just some cool horse shit in this for sure.
One of the parts that made me laugh the most was when she swims across and Jeff Bridges' face as he gets out of the water and he's like, "That is an impressive horse. I'll give you $10 or whatever for it." I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, both the looks on their face, Matt David and Jack Bridges, both for doing that. They're just like the look of like subtle and like respect, you know. They're just like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Can't deny it.
yeah. That and like the cornbread shooting scene. They're just like
Hmm.
shooting
He just keeps
off.
grabbing more fucking cornbread. Now.
Yeah, good.
Tempted for 4. I don't know if I can do it yet, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll just fucking do it. If I'm
Just
tempted, I
fucking
feel
do
like
it,
my
man.
brain is like telling me to do it. You know?
Yeah,
Right,
just
right.
do it.
Especially
Live a
when we make our
little, you
lists
know?
Bump that shit
too.
up.
Yeah.
But I have a
think
Serious
about it.
Man at 4, so maybe I have to bump that one. Like that's better to me.
Hey,
So like,
that one, I'm telling you, that one's like, I think that's, if No Country didn't exist, that's like the best Coens could get, you know?
yeah,
It's definitely
Get
one of their
down with
best,
that.
it's their best original script, I
Maybe.
think.
I can feel that. Yeah, definitely top 5, if top 10.
Oh,
Maybe. We'll see.
absolutely.
Well, shall we move on to Inside Llewyn Davis then? The second of the double
Yeah,
feature.
let's do
Give
it.
me the dirty deeds.
Yeah.
Why was it so depressing? And what was the twist ending you were talking about?
Well, the twist ending isn't really a twist, other than it like wraps it back to the beginning.
Life's a
that
flat
you-
circle, man.
Yeah, that you
Or
didn't
time's a
know.
flat circle.
Yeah, it was pretty much
Yeah.
like I don't know what I would say is the opposite of Perfect Days. It's just like a window of time,
Mhm.
like
In this
that you're
guy's
watching
journey,
this
in his
character.
life.
And like in Perfect Days, you have like ups and downs, and like you're pretty much just following this guy's life. And he does go through a repetitive cycle, but generally, I feel like he's like put himself in a world that he's comfortable in, and like that he likes. And it's kind of like the opposite in this because it's more like his world is like crumbling because he's like he was a successful musician and now he's like not, and now he doesn't just want to get a fucking day job and play music on the side. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he's
that's
just pretty
true.
much just like refusing to change for the entire movie, and at the end he still refuses to change.
Yep.
A lot of nihilism and infidelity again.
Okay.
We're back, baby.
Classic. Yeah.
Now, the ending though, I was like, what am I supposed to gain from this? Honestly, I don't really know.
Funny you should mention that. So I guess the Coens, when they were writing it, they feared this doesn't have a plot. Let's add a cat.
Oh, really?
And that's why they added the cat. was to give it
Interesting.
something, I guess, stakes, if you
'Cause,
will.
like,
I don't
I
know.
really
I
wouldn't
mein
consider that the main plot.
I
Though.
don't even
guess it
'cause, like,
adds
No,
some
kinda I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying. When they
'cause,
direction.
said they
like,
added a cat, I was
you
like,
have,
"What's
like
that do to the story?"
you have, like, one
Nothing.
cat
Right.
who is, like, the cat of, like, the people he's staying at, but then it, like, switches to a different cat that's not their cat. And then he takes that cat to a random location of wherever the fuck he left
Yeah, he
John
fucking
John
Goodman.
Goodman.
And the
he
cat got out,
Schrodinger'd
I
cat
think,
you.
and died in the forest because he ran
Well, I
over
think
it.
well, I thought he didn't run over it, but
But then there's the original cat came back to the people, but it was a different cat. So I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I don't know
It's
what I'm
like
supposed to get out of that.
the
right.
cat in the car is just like, no, that's the Schrodinger's cat, you know? Is it dead? Is it alive? I don't know. Don't open the car
Yeah.
door,
Yeah.
you know? And
Maybe.
then the cat in the road, I don't know what the fuck that was about.
I
But
guess
then
that was
Ulysses,
probably a
like,
different
come
cat.
on.
No, I thought that was the
They
cat
had,
he left on the road. Like it's still hanging around the road, and it's like
oh, you thought that was
fucking with
okay.
him again now that he's like coming across that path again or
Well, because
whatever.
like, you mean the one who was in the car with him
With Goodman.
when the guy got taken by the cops? Because
Yeah.
like I didn't know if that cat. I don't think that cat got out of the car, or at least we didn't see it get
right.
out of the
I think
car.
eventually it was like let
That's
out
why
in
I-
whatever land it lives in now, you know, and
Yeah.
like it's just wandering around, kind of like he is.
Dude, also that cop, like, I feel like that's like
What a
totally
maniac.
legit for like just some Midwest cop that you're gonna find on the interstate. Like, I feel like
You know,
that's like pretty accurate. I don't know.
I'm glad you brought this up because in the past 2 months I've been pulled over 5 times. And 2 of those times I was heading home from where I'm staying now, and there was a cop on the shoulder, so I got over because that's the courteous thing to do. This all ties into the Midwestern cop thing. I'm not just ranting, but I got over. I get
I'd
pulled
be
over for
down if you were.
following. I got pulled over for following too close to the car in front of me. I was like, I didn't know that was a rule, but okay. And she was like, "Well, here in Illinois, we like to see 3 car lengths." Like, well, now you're using subjective language. You like to, or it's a
Yeah.
rule. I mean, come on, tell me what the fucking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, for them,
so
it's
on
the
my
same
way
thing.
up here
After that, I'd
this
be like,
week,
show me the law in the book.
Yeah, yeah.
right? This week I'm driving up here for work. Cop on the shoulder, out of habit. I get over again, pulled over, same exact fucking thing.
Jeez, man.
For riding too close.
Yep, I'm done being courteous.
Have you looked it up?
Fuck them.
Yep.
No.
I would.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get a
Bring
ticket.
I mean,
to
It's
I
just
don't
a
know. I
warning,
guess like
but it's
if it
like
happens
it's
a third
slowing me
time,
down.
realistically, if you bring that up, they'll probably be pissed because they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you accessing me, boy? Like,
He's a serial.
Can you get out of the car, sir?"
speeder. I don't know.
I'll be towed away to prison. I've been in your prisons.
Like that was fucking wild. Like he just gets taken, and the cop just
Yeah.
leaves. Like
Yeah, he
just
just
Yeah.
fucking
dips.
crazy.
Doesn't care about the other two dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I also read that like this is like I don't know if they said it was like a direct continuation of like their Oh Brother Where Art Thou? But it's in the same vein. And watching it, I'm like, yep, okay, this is Oh Brother Where Art Thou? But like one guy instead of a group of people. He's on his
Yeah.
odyssey, and then at the
I
very end, the cat's name is Ulysses. So
I
like,
had like thought about that too because like they're both like folk bands. It's just like
yeah,
they're at like the start of their career, and like everybody loves them.
right.
And
now
he's kind
folk
of the
music is
opposite.
dead. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get like any Oh Brother links like for me, but I mean, if it follows the same like what's it called, the Iliad? Is that the fucking-
Yeah, it's like an
The
odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
The Odyssey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could follow that maybe. I didn't really feel the link other than like the type of music a little bit, but I don't know. It felt like its own thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It felt like I was just rewatching because Oh Brother's like my least favorite Coen's movie. And then rewatching this one, I felt like I was back in Oh Brother, and I'm like, my God, you know? So,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
the whole time I'm thinking, what is this telling me besides like the world sucks? You know, you want to
Right?
break into an industry, but the industry just shits on you. So you're going to have no people to get in.
Dude,
And if
especially
you're
like as
passionate
a
about something that
musician,
means
like
nothing,
but like
you
from
know,
my perspective, I'm just like I have a fucking job and I play shows in the meantime.
yeah.
And like
Yeah.
so it's not like I want that to be my job. Like that's just unrealistic. Like
Mhm.
so I don't know.
But
Yeah,
that's
you
the
make the most of
dedication it
it, you know?
requires if you're a true like the I
But
the
he's
movie's
not even
fine, but like
I mean, still, he doesn't even like music. Like
That's the
he
thing. He
views
seems
it
so
as his
angry
fucking
about it.
job and a way
Yeah.
to make money. But it's like
Mm.
he doesn't even love playing music. So it's like,
Yeah, he's kind of like the disconnect of like the passion is like clear when he's singing, you know, but he does have like the
yeah,
songwriting and musical ability. But then he talks shit about people who get normal jobs, so it's like you're not really in the grind if you're not doing this.
Right.
I think he's just a
yeah,
huge hypocrite, you know, and that's a hard character to follow. But
yeah.
And
like,
that was my other big gripe with the movie, was that the character was just so kind of insufferable to hang around with for the entire movie.
it
And
was
it was
pretty
just
hard.
hard for me to get on board to be like, I'm gonna follow this like scumbag this entire time and root for it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of tried to root a little bit in the vein of like, I think this might be Oscar Isaac's like first leading role, because I
Yeah.
remember when this came out in like 2013 back in the day, I remember like seeing it but not actually watching it, and I was like, who the fuck is that actor? I had never seen that guy
Right.
before. So like,
Mm.
I didn't. He was not known at this time as much,
Yeah.
obviously, but
This got him on the map for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
all of his parts that he like sang, I thought were better than any of the parts that Justin Timberlake is in.
really.
Well, he's actually
He
a
just sounded
musician.
fucking weird being
That's
like
what
singing folk music.
Mm.
he's a trained musician or whatever. Like that's what he went to
Oscar
Oscar
school
Isaac
Isaac is.
for.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
He's a
I'm
good
pretty
singer.
certain he went
Yeah,
to
he is
school
pretty
to
good.
Juilliard for it. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh
Didn't know that.
shit!
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if like I was surprised when he first started singing, I was like, oh, shit, that's okay.
I'm like kind of surprised,
good.
like if he's like a Juilliard trained musician, that he doesn't do more musical stuff,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
went
in
for
his
the acting.
yeah,
Yeah.
or like in his parts.
Well, I actually did go see Ex Machina last night in IMAX, and he
Hey.
has a little dance number in that movie. You know, he just breaks it down halfway
Hey.
through.
Yeah.
As the character is very insufferable and hard to relate to, but honestly I found myself relating to him on certain avenues of like artistry and anger and like
Mm.
I don't know. So like I bounced around being like, yeah, I get that guy, and then he lashes out in a way that's like, well, I don't want to be like that, right? So I don't relate anymore. You know?
Yeah.
But
No, that was kind of like the hard part to get used to, was the fact that like I couldn't tell if he was so angry because he is passionate about, music
right,
and he wants, or if he just is
is
just
that guy?
angry,
Yeah,
and like I don't know, because I'm the same way. I mean, in college when the professors didn't like told me that something that I created was boring or they didn't like it, I'm like, okay, well that's your opinion. Why does that affect the grade? It's all like
it's just
I
like
don't know.
Yeah.
your opinion, man.
Yeah, how do you rate
Back to the
or how do
dude.
you grade art? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool too when he sings. Like it's good, but like we said earlier, it's like you don't really feel like the passion or the love or like the
Right.
intensity in the singing. So I think that's a pretty fine line to find for a performer to try to play that, you know?
And I mean, this
Yeah.
could all stem too from the fact that his partner, I mean, killed himself recently. So maybe he's just like, I don't know, he's missing
that
that
state.
piece,
Yeah.
right?
Or maybe he's jealous.
That's
Or
what it seemed
that,
like
like
at first.
all
I
the
think they tried to
talent's
lead
dead.
you there. What's that?
All the talent died from the band because everyone asks,
Yeah, play the song that we
Weird.
played with that dude, right?
Right.
Like,
Oh,
everybody's
I
trying to
more
play his
meant that
part.
he was jealous because like I don't know, the other dude was gone and he didn't have to fucking struggle through this bullshit anymore.
I
Oh.
honestly thought he was going to kill himself at the end. In fact, it might have been a better payoff for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree. I didn't like this movie. The
Yeah.
comparison between this and or I see the comparison between this and Oh Brother Where Art Thou, but the difference for me was that Oh Brother Where Art Thou was at least like kind of positive, and
Yeah.
that's personally why I liked it more. Because
Yeah,
like just my
definitely.
personal taste, I like more positive movies or positive takes, and I think that's my problem with the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
Because most shit is like too negative. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
That's
this
true.
one was like excessively negative. Like,
This is definitely their most like I think straight up just negative movie. Like I don't know if nihilistic even is a good word to describe it. I think it's just negative. It just felt bad. And like I'm gonna say it, Carrie Mulligan, not a good actress. I've watched 3 movies recently with her and I cannot stand her.
I usually like her, but I agree her performance in this one was like too on the nose for a Coen Brothers movie or something.
This and Maestro, she's bad, and I watched Shame, and I did not like her in any of those. And I'm just like, these are her performances that are supposed to be like good.
Mhm.
And I'm like, if this is good, please, God, don't
Yeah.
show me the other ones. But
Fair. I honestly did like the color palette in the movie, even though it's all fucking like muted grays and browns
yeah,
and like gray greens or whatever the fuck. But I mean, it fits with the depressing nature of the movie, even though it doesn't
yeah,
help like the enjoyment level, I guess. But
yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed too the fucking like weird ass outer space song that they were singing or whatever. It's like him,
Yeah,
Adam Driver, and
the the JFK song.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I fucking
The fuck
love
is that
when
song?
he stays at Adam Driver's house and he tries to push his fucking vinyls underneath that thing and he finds
He's
fucking
got his
Adam
own.
Driver's vinyls. Like
Yeah.
basically he's gone through the same situation where they just fucking had his shit in reserve and they just gave it back to him.
Yeah.
it was so
Uh,
fucking good too when they're singing the song. He's like, "Who wrote this shit, man?" He's like, "I did." He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Oh. Yeah. Like to me, there's like good moments like that with the record. Like that moment, it reads the full message of the movie, which is like, I guess this shit's just never gonna end, and everybody's gonna kind of suffer in like their artistic drive or whatever. But
yeah."
yeah, it's few and far between to hit
Are
those
they?
meaningful moments.
Are the fucking Coen brothers? Are they suffering in
struggling?
their artistic drive? I would
Maybe
say
maybe that's
I
why
no.
they
mean,
Yeah, I'd
split.
probably say not really anymore. But what do you say,
yeah.
Alex?
I said maybe that's why they split, man. Maybe they're done. Actually, they're coming
Couldn't.
back together. So
Yeah,
It is
and
weird to have a movie like the way you guys are describing it so late in their filmography, when they pretty much made it in Hollywood. And
Yeah, they've
yeah, I
been
don't know, it's like a
coasting
weird
since the
message.
early 2000s.
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like a
what the
weird
fuck?
message to send out. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted to get sad. They just wanted to feel the sadness in this one or something.
you're like, bring it
Mhm.
back, bring it back.
Yeah. Yeah, we're too happy. We don't have any problems. Let's like
Yeah,
find
they're like,
something.
Yeah.
True Grit was
Ah,
kind of too
to be
upbeat for
honest,
me.
yeah, it was like they went from like super depressing movie with a serious man to True Grit, which is basically just like an adaptation of somebody else's work, to this, which is like another super depressing fucking movie. Like,
It's flip flopping. I also thought watching Inside Llewyn, I was like, if I didn't know this was a Coen Brothers movie, I don't think I would have like really guessed it at first because it really doesn't
Yeah.
like got their
yeah, it's like
vibe to
subtle
it.
with the zaniness.
Mm-hmm.
Besides
Definitely.
some things in the script and the dialogue, yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell it's Cohen. I mean, it's well crafted. It's just nothing stands out that says like this is a Cohen's movie, and except obviously nihilism. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, the only thing that I could think of that like reminds me of them is like the situation with the vinyl, with the Adam
Mhm.
Driver vinyl underneath. But like even
yeah,
then, it's not like, I don't know, explicit. That could just be like some kind of funny thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a little more standard for them, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
that and I guess the where's his testicles? That whole thing was kind of like
Mhm.
okay, this is weird. When she's talking about the cat,
Mhm.
where's his balls or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Oh
yeah,
shit.
nothing really kooky.
Yeah. Made a note. It was cool to see F. Murray Abraham in this movie. He's the guy in Chicago that like listens to him play the song and then immediately is
Mhm.
like,
Oh
I don't see
yeah.
a lot of money here. It's like savagely, like
Yeah.
I was
huge
gonna
knife in the
bring up
fucking heart. But
that like scene just because like I don't know. I took that as Oscar Isaac's character has just like been in that situation like so many times that like I don't know. He just like has seen so many people like that dude where he's
Mhm.
just gonna like tell him some advice or some shit, and Oscar Isaac just kind of like has seen it 100 times. So he's just like, yeah, whatever,
All right,
dude, and then just fucking
leaves.
leaves like
Yeah,
because he's got other options or can do other shit. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
It was nice to see F. Murray Abraham because I watched Amadeus recently and he plays like a huge composer that's like a huge musician. So it's kind of like an extension or like an homage to that role almost, where he's not similar characters, but just in like a musical setting and like talking about music. And so it was cool for him to be there at least.
sure.
The Carey Mulligan stuff, though, I agree about the performance, but also that situation just kind of like goes away. Like where does it end? Like,
Yeah, I don't really know
That-
because like the
that-
guy even at the bar, the promoter or whatever, was sleeping with her too, right? That you
That's
find out?
or he
yeah, that's what
had,
he
or
So
said.
because there was like a question if it was Oscar Isaac's kid or Justin Timberlake's, And then there's this third guy involved
It could
that
be
you
it.
find out, and she's just
Yeah.
pretty much just been like sleeping with a ton of dudes.
And the
Mhm.
thing is too, what really bothered me about her character was that like she was really dogging on him for like getting her pregnant, but I'm like, yo, you're kind of a scumbag
You're sleuting
too. I
around.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in fact, the way you're talking to him and being just so mean, you're just being like straight up evil right now. I don't know, and like telling him to like triple duct tape for whatever his
Triple
dick. I'm just
condom.
like,
Yeah.
my God, it takes two to tango, bitch.
Yeah.
But
I just felt like I didn't even know where that story closed out at.
yeah,
Maybe that's the point.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Final note I have is, when did we realize that milk is bad for cats? Because apparently, like, there was always this tradition, or like,
Yeah, like milk in a saucer.
yeah, it's like cats love milk and they gotta drink it. But apparently, it's like really bad for cats. So
I think like
is it
50%
after
of cats are
1960?
lactose intolerant.
Right.
So like,
So
yeah.
when did this shift happen? I'm just curious.
I don't know. There was a point when people found out, but
Science.
All their
Yeah.
I
cats were,
think
like,
most
puking and
people
shit.
still don't know. Like,
Right.
I think
That's
most
weird.
cats. I don't know.
Dumb note, but there's a lot of cats drinking milk in it. So, I'm gonna give this 3.5. I didn't hate the movie. It's just not that great, and I probably won't want to watch it again. But it's
I
not
hated it,
terrible.
and I still gave it 3.5. I wanted to go down to 3, but like, it's not really that bad. Like, it's still a decent movie. It's just like, I just didn't like it.
That's
I'm
fair,
glad
man.
you guys both said that because I also gave it 3.5 and I did not enjoy it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Such a weird movie.
It's like there's moments where I'm like, this is good, but then there's a lot more moments where I'm like, my God,
What am I
this
doing?
hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
So when I come back with a 1-star rating, you guys know.
Well,
on the
I'll feel
terms.
you're justified.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like going through like the letterbox shit in this movie, and people are like, "Eat this
They
shit."
love it.
They like it?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
way better than what we're
I
saying.
don't know. I found like just over the course of doing this podcast, and really just over the course of like the last 6 months, probably with like the Oscars and the movies that came out last year, I've noticed that like I really don't agree with popular opinion. I feel like people.
the
I feel
system,
like
bro.
a lot of the time it's just fucking bandwagon shit where people just
Oh,
hop
yeah,
on
definitely.
somebody because they think that they have a good opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
And
it's
like
the popular opinion, so you want to fucking be a part of the club. Right?
exactly, yeah.
Be in the convo. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
we're in a different club. We make the fucking club. You come to
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you if it's bad. Most of the time.
our sometimes.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, not my favorite. Probably won't revisit it, but it's the
Yeah.
last Coen Brothers movie for me. I've seen them all now.
Same. It's complete except for Macbeth, but that's a
Mm.
Joel exclusive. So
Yeah.
And it's Shakespeare. So it's
Another
like,
note, like kind of related to the Coen brothers, I saw his name's like Emmett something.
yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died. He's like the private investigator from Blood Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Shit.
he's just been in like a decent amount of early Coen brothers stuff. So
Definitely.
yeah,
That's kind of sad. Yeah.
And, on par with the theme of this movie, apparently.
Depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life is sad and
Nihilistic and-
depressing.
It all ends and
life fucking sucks.
But you just keep going.
chugging along.
Well, I think next week then, if we're gonna do another double feature, it should be the last Coen Brothers dive, right?
I'm
Is
good with
that the
that.
plan?
Shit.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
Do,
yeah. Also,
what's the next one? Before Buster
Buster-
Scruggs?
Hail
The Hail
Caesar. and
Caesar,
yeah.
Scruggs.
Caesar, okay.
if
Alright.
do you want to just do those two in no movie chest, and then we'll do our rankings too?
I'm down
I'd be
for
down
that.
with
If you guys want to do that.
Yeah.
Or I mean, we could add a movie chest too.
Can we at least pick the movie chest so I can like know what I'm watching?
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, I'm down.
That's cool. Yeah. We already sent it out, right? I think I already have my
I
picks.
think I sent it.
I have
Oh, you did?
I have my picks. Oh, did we? Oh, yeah.
I'm so behind.
I have my picks.
Yeah. Let me. I'll just copy these bad boys.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't remember.
Also, I already talked to Matt about it. I think I'm gonna be out for the next director's dive, but then I'll come back eventually.
Okay.
But then also like in June, I'll probably be around with like the new shows to talk about them. Or like if you want to do like another like summer blockbuster thing, I'd totally be down for that too, for like a list or something.
Yeah.
I'm just like I guess like anticipating being busier because of softball, and I guess this this just takes up like a decent amount of my time. So
Sure.
and I feel like the Coen brothers really wore me down. So I feel
Wow.
like I kind of just like need a break.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I like doing this. Honestly, like it's been pretty cool doing this for like the past year or so. And I've watched like so much shit that I would have otherwise never seen. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, it's
Beauty of
nice.
it.
Yeah.
I think we are talking before. It's like at a certain level, it might hurt the viewing experience to do all the movies in a row because you like get tired of the thing that they do well.
Yeah.
But I come around to like enjoying the full perspective at the end of like a
Yeah.
filmmaker or a
Yeah.
filmmaker. So
Yeah. I think that's like
I get it.
more important. Yeah. It's like get the good scope. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
there's
get the
no
full
better
picture.
way. Yeah.
Like a different person would be like, I'm only gonna watch a Coen Brothers movie when I have like the urge, and then I can spread it out my
Right.
whole life. Or I respect that too, but I kind of like what we're doing too. So
Or like they're gonna
Yeah.
watch the Coen Brothers movies and they watch, Fargo, No Country, Big Lebowski, maybe Burn After Reading,
then
Yeah.
and
jump
call
right
it
into
good,
these
you know?
ones.
Yeah.
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 Big ones.
Got to get to the stinkers. Got to see what they did.
Yeah.
Every movie.
Gotta
The
dig in a little bit.
The stankers. We got the movies. The movie
Yeah.
chest
Yeah.
ready to
I'm ready to
ready
go.
fire?
Yeah.
Boom.
Hit
We're
it.
going?
Yeah,
Get
we're
it
going.
away.
Fire away.
I
What the
knew
fuck?
Tron was gonna come up.
Catwoman wasn't
That's
on here?
kind of what I expected, right, Tron?
I voted for it specifically.
Let's
Oh,
go.
shit.
Okay, so
What
we
is
got
it?
The Firm and we got Monster.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna random it.
Yeah, just do
Yeah.
random.
Spin
Fuck
the
it.
wheel, baby.
Sure.
I'm so glad
Monsters
The Firm made
apparently
it.
like Patty Jenkins' best movie or like only good movie or whatever.
Oh man.
That's what I heard as well.
Only good movie.
I mean, she doesn't have that many, and like the other ones are like Wonder Woman and Wonder
Yeah.
Woman 2. And
I hope we do The Firm. Gotta get
get your
Tom Cruise
boy.
back in here. Yeah.
get your boy in here.
Dude, I haven't seen Drive, and that's one that
You haven't seen Drive yet?
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about it.
Is
Alright, let me
Drive?
share my screen.
Is that with Nick Cage? Or am I thinking of something else?
That's what
I
the
think
Ryan
you're
is
thinking
Gosling.
of Drive. I
Yeah.
think you're thinking of Drive Angry. Drive is just with
Maybe.
Ryan Gosling.
I don't know. Nick Cage has so many movies,
Yeah.
Insane.
All
What
right,
do you
you
expect
ready?
from a
Let's see what we
Coppola?
got.
Oh, I'm ready. Oh.
What is this?
God damn it!
I see your Discord.
I don't know.
I didn't see the spin.
What? We didn't see it. Okay.
Was it
Well, I
Monster?
can read.
It was.
It was Monster.
Damn.
Give it a respin. Give it a respin.
Do you guys want to see the spin?
I need to confirm with my own eyes.
All
that-
right, all right. I'll just share just strictly the wheel then. That's what we got landed on. But oop.
Oh, it looks like
It's just The Firm.
One
Okay.
spin.
All right.
Are we doing? All right, let's do it.
respin. Big money.
2 out of 3.
Oh,
We could do
That's
2 out
Look
of
at that
3.
line.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
let's do a
so
tiebreaker, right?
close.
Yeah.
Tiebreaker.
We gotta make it even. Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Fuck. All right.
For what is it? 3 out of 5.
yeah.
All right, Monster it is.
Yeah.
Charlie's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear it's good. Hopefully, it's good.
I hear it's pretty good as well. So
I'm kind of excited for Furiosa.
I'm not gonna lie.
Down to
That
get
I saw
back.
that trailer for the first time in the theater, and I was like, that might be the
Yeah.
best movie of the summer. Honestly,
Looks
Like,
good. It's fun.
Yeah.
Hemsworth is heating in that movie. I think he's gonna
it's
cook.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the visual
haven't seen the
style, like the
trailer.
action, looks really good. Like
Yeah.
it might be more
Yeah.
cartoony than the 2015 Mad Max, but it still looks good.
Oh shit! The new Godzilla comes out like today, right?
Yes, sir.
There's
Oh,
a
Yeah, we'll
shit.
fucking move.
You guys going to see it this weekend?
I probably will.
I'd be done.
We'll see. I'm gonna go see Monkey Man next weekend. I think.
Sounds good.
Nice.
But I have no desire really to see the new Godzilla, if I'm being completely honest.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? Yeah,
I
I
like
get
those
it.
movies.
It's fine. I mean, yeah, there's like the movies themselves like aren't very good. Like the last one, like there's a whole like subplot with like Millie Bobby Brown and the
Oh,
dude
yeah.
who plays Paperboy that like really doesn't have anything to do
It's
with
bad.
what's going on. Like
Nah.
literally the only thing that affects them, they spill like some coke on a fucking like,
It's his wife's booze.
on like a
It
control
means
board
something,
or
Joe.
something, and it
Yeah.
fucks up Mechagodzilla. So like,
I don't
There
know.
for like half a second.
I don't know if you guys read or heard what Millie Bobby Brown said about movies, that she doesn't watch them because she can't sit down and watch a screen for that long. That's the generation coming up.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
but she like
TikTokification.
makes
Yeah,
stuff.
she doesn't watch them, man.
I can't watch
That's
my own
interesting.
performances.
I don't
This is-
really know. Like, I don't. What?
Yeah.
How are you?
Speechless.
There we go.
How are you in that industry? Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
know
like-
that.
A lot of
Like
actors
you're
say that shit
basically
though.
not supporting your industry.
But it's not just
like by
it's not just
saying
her
that.
performances. She says she doesn't watch movies. Like
Right.
That's stupid.
That's fucked. Yeah.
I mean,
that's
I don't really think she's that good anyway.
nope.
Oh, man.
I mean,
She
All
can
those
cry.
Stranger
I feel
Things
like
kids have
they
a
were
lot
hyping
of
up.
proving to do.
She's in like some new movie on Netflix, I think,
Yeah.
and
Damsel.
it looks terrible. Like
Yes.
it looks bad.
Was that her like Sherlock, where she was like Sherlock?
No.
That one
So
also
she's like
looked
a
bad,
princess.
but
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
was
about
like-
something else actually.
Goddamn. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty standard, but they're trying to market her like she's the biggest star in the world. But
Yeah.
I just
It's
watched the new
not bad.
Ghostbusters in theaters, and Finn Wolfhard's in that too. And it's like, just because they're like kid actors that are kind of famous doesn't mean like they're gonna
Yeah.
grow into great actors. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How was that though, as a overall?
It was fine.
That's
I had
okay.
like,
Yeah.
I think my review on Letterboxd, I was like, these movies make me feel at least a little bit better than some of the other like shitty schlock legacy movies that they're making.
Yeah.
It might just be because I like Ghostbusters more though. Like I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like spending time at the firehouse again, is back in New York, so it felt like a little more true, even though it's clearly just like corporate pastiche.
Nostalgia
Fucking,
bait.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
plot lines, way too many fucking characters going on, and none of them gets serviced, and it's like,
Yeah, I feel like what you were saying about the child actors growing into like how they probably won't grow into, or that it's possible they won't grow into being good actors. That made me think that like really the only reason they're cast is because they're popular. And we were talking about this like a couple days ago about how like pretty much every poster you see now for a movie or a show is just like that same thing where it's just all the fucking faces of the actors in it, and then there's
Yeah.
pretty much no other description. There's maybe like some kind of weird background, and it's like I don't know. So like
it's lazy.
I think it's
It's all
just
about face. Like
most
"Oh,
people
I
go to
remember."
see a movie now because of the people, not really
Yeah.
because of the movie, I guess.
That
Or maybe
might
that's how like
be-
people making the movies or marketing the shit think about movies. Like
For sure. I could see
I
that.
don't know.
That's probably been going on for the history of Hollywood in a way, but now it's just like too front and center, literally. Like in the
Yeah.
posters and in like the marketing and in like the goals even.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like just thinking that like the goals for these actors or actresses now, it's like is it even like a thing now where an actor will turn down a role because they don't think it's like right for them? I feel like maybe it was more common back in the day for actors to be like, no, I don't see myself in this role. I can't get on with this project. If artistically, I feel like now it's just like
I think
How
like
much-
what's the next
also-
Netflix
Yeah.
thing? that
Okay,
I
maybe
can-
I'll
like-
think about it.
yeah,
I think like
yeah.
also back in the day it might have just been easier to do that, or in different time periods. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, unless you're like a really popular famous actor, like you probably just need the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're not
like,
going to turn down the paycheck half the time, and if it's
yeah.
big,
Even if
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
shitty, like it's
Yeah.
Disney, like it brings me back to we were talking about Taika, like in the comments he made about Disney, and he basically was just saying that like it's a job, like he gets paid for it, like a paycheck, like everybody else, and it might not be like good shit, but like I don't know, it's a fucking jabs
Yeah.
can put
The
food
old
on his
at,
table,
like the
you know?
old
Right,
phrase
right.
that was like a Hollywood standard phrase is like one for you, one for me. So like I do one that I really want to like make and feel like passionate about, and I do one that like the studio wants to do, so they want to make money or whatever. And
Mhm.
nowadays it feels like I'm just doing everything for the studio. You know, like I
Yeah,
don't have any
yeah.
fucking input in anything anymore as an actor. But
Yeah.
Which sucks because, like, also if they just, well, specifically Disney, if they just split up their budget, like, and didn't pour so much of their budget into the movies for like CGI and fucking costumes and shit, and just like, I don't know. I guess we say this every time, but just put your money into the writing.
thinking
But like,
hopefully
they
the
could also
industry's
just
seeing
like
it.
split up into different projects, I guess, too. You know.
The dude, I don't know if we talked about the Oscars at all. I probably did, but the guy, American fiction writer Cord Jefferson, in his speech was like, "I know we have like a way of making movies, but like, what if we made like it's a $200 movie and that's a risk, $200 million movie and that's a risk. What it's also a risk to make.
$200.
Yeah, that's not that much of a risk. Let's make 20 $10 million movies or whatever if that math checks out. I think it does, but it's like that's a risk also, but the return could be far greater. You know, like."
That's a good point.
So just rethink the business strats a little bit, you know, get some new voices in there because obviously it's stale and you're over bloating everything in a stale way. You're not gonna like get returns for very long, I'd say. But
Yeah, I mean, shit, like fucking Godzilla minus one, $15 million budget. It was probably fucking hell to make that movie, but like,
you did it.
pretty fucking solid movie. And
Yeah.
like, I don't.
It looks
mean,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made money. And because it's such a low price point to begin with, it made exponentially more money than it would have ever made than if you just dumped fucking stupid amounts into it. Like the profit, just think about, if you only think about money, just think about the profit margin then. You know, it's way bigger.
Right.
So
Right. What you can do with little. Yeah.
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 Well, boys, I have a 14-hour day tomorrow driving,
Hell yeah.
so I'm gonna get up.
All right, man. I wanted to
sleep.
talk a little
Yeah, that's
Roadhouse,
cool.
but
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'll stick
yeah.
around for Roadhouse.
Yeah, go
Tell
for
me.
it. Talk
quick
about it.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched both of
Uh,
them, the old one
same.
and the new one, back to
Same.
back. So it was an interesting experience.
So, did you watch the old one and then the new one?
Yes.
So I did the opposite. I watched the new one, and then I watched the old one, which I think I'm glad I watched them in that way because I think I enjoyed the new one more because of it.
Mhm.
Because obviously the new one is not good. It's bad, but
I
I
think
really
the
like.
director's like boycotting it.
Yeah, he wanted to be in theaters.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. It's crazy that this director made fucking Edge of Tomorrow
Swingers,
and
right? Yeah, he's made like
yeah,
really good movies.
Swingers. And then he makes this where the fight scenes are for no reason at all, just slathered with VFX shots. Like everything's super like sped up for no reason.
Mhm.
And I don't know, like if your actors are willing to take the time to get first off Conor McGregor, ass, complete ass. But if Jake Gyllenhaal is willing to like commit to this role, let him fight and like don't VFX the shit out of it, you know?
Mhm. They
Like
had
give us
moments of
some
like punch connection where I was like, oh,
yeah.
seemed right, and then yeah, just like whips into a
Yeah.
cartoon, and you're just like,
When he's slapping the piss out of those boys, like I was delighted to see him just slap the piss out of them. But then the problem I had after that was then the next fight scenes like that mattered with like Connor and them, like the big ones you want to see, it's just like VFX. I'm
yeah,
like,
the boat
why?
fight at
What?
the end was like in
Yeah.
another realm of like movie craziness.
In this
Yeah.
fisheye lens that is just so bizarre. It was just some weird fucking choices,
Mm.
I think. And Conor McGregor was one of the largest like blunders, I think, of the movie. Like
He has like a
what is that
fun
guy doing?
presence, but it's just like a weird ass character to even think is real. I don't know.
Everyone, I guarantee you, the director was petrified to give him notes because he could
Yeah.
just slap the shit out of him. Like he'd come
Yeah,
out of
and
his
he
trailer straight off a line of cocaine and just smiling. Like he's just so fucking happy to just be
Mhm.
there and be alive and be high as
His
fuck.
nose is like bleeding, or like he's just got a
Yeah.
fucking ton of
With some
coke on
dust.
his
At
nose.
any second, he could
Yeah.
just turn and deck you if he's like pissed off. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that.
I could see that.
He's butt ass naked in half the movie too. Maybe he was just like, I'm getting naked, fucking
Yeah.
film it, you know?
The
Yeah.
director's already got like a black eye.
Okay. Okay.
He's like, just let him do it, guys. I can't take another blow.
Yeah. I thought Jake G was fine. He was kind of boring, honestly, in the new one. He didn't really
my
like
God.
elevate to a level of like enjoyment. But
You know,
There was
I think it was
moments where
like
I'm
Donnie
like, let him
Darko
cook.
when I saw like a familiarity between like Jake Gyllenhaal and fucking Tobey Maguire, and I can't unsee it. So like I don't know, I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal is just broken for me now.
he doesn't work anymore.
He doesn't work in this role for me. Like
I love Jake
really.
Gyllenhaal, and I thought he was like he did what he could with the material, but like there was moments where they made his character, like you said, like for no reason, just boring and unrelatable, and just like he
And then,
wanted to cook and give his character more depth, but they wouldn't let him. Like the
yeah,
script wouldn't let him, or I don't know.
Conor McGregor wouldn't let
kind of,
him.
yeah, he was like, you better chill out,
Yeah.
boy. Yeah, and then like he's like a normal ass dude, and then at the end, apparently a flip switches, and he's a fucking like psychopath who's murdering people. And I was just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on right now, dude?
Oh shit! He just
But,
switched to that guy from Nightcrawler,
Yeah.
except
Kinda.
except the same character from Roadhouse. I don't know.
One of the better scenes was when he like hits the guy's throat and he's just describing to him like what he did to him, and he's like, but you're gonna die either way, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
And at that moment I was like, I wish I was cool enough to just pull that off, like punch a guy in the throat and tell him he's gonna die and walk away. Like
Yeah.
it's just cool
I
stuff.
wish I was cool enough to pull that off, and then the dude
Yeah.
doesn't die, so he's just like shitting his pants. He thinks he's gonna die.
Right. Just to fuck with him. And I guess
I
like in the
don't wanna
OG
kill anybody.
Roadhouse, it like he does like flip some type of switch and start killing people, but it's all like
Yeah.
they're coming at him still, and
It's
he's
kind
just
of
like, I'm about to
established
go
though.
Are they breaking pool
guess-
cues?
I think so. I don't remember. But
Hell
there's bar
yeah.
fights all up and down that movie, dude.
My God,
I
gotta
should
say,
watch both of these.
the old Roadhouse, it really came alive when Sam Elliott came onto the screen and just
Fantastic
brought
character.
his fucking mane, and we saw a little bit of bush, and it was it's like, this is a man right here.
Dude, there's like tits. There's just like that movie is so like 80s sexual.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just like a peak moment of like masculine movie
Yeah.
making, man. Like
It's just straight
I'm gonna
up.
watch
Yeah.
this later.
it's fucking wild, dude. It's not the greatest movie, but it's like fun at least, So
It's a great time. Like, if
Yeah.
anything, I see why it was like is considered like one of the more rewatchable. And some of the lines in it, like, I mean, the iconic line, I fuck guys like you in prison. Like,
when I
what,
heard
is that
that
a
line,
compliment? Is that an insult? I'm
Yeah.
fucking confused.
dude, when I heard that line, something like triggered in my brain. I was just like, did that actually happen? Like, it's so wild, that line, but it's just so awesome.
I could just
Yeah,
picture
it's
the
pretty
writer,
incredible.
like, yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of crazy lines in that. One of them is like, what is it? You want to go tit to tit? Is that what like something like that?
he
Nipple to
said-
nipple?
Yeah, he said, how about me and you go nipple to nipple? I'm like, somebody wrote this down and was just like, fuck yeah, put it in.
Yeah. Horny
They're
as
all
fuck.
hooked up. It was
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
Drugs everywhere. Swayze
Uh.
just being Swayze, man.
Yeah.
I had a good time with that one. The newest one, I actually bumped it up half a star at least, because I gave it a 2 and I was like, it did
God
something
damn.
successfully, so I was like, I'll give it
That's
a
fucking
2.5.
low.
Yeah, I gave it the new one, I gave it a 3, but I did rewatch it because my mom really likes she doesn't like the old one for some reason, but she likes the new one. I don't know why, but
Weird.
it's just weird. But she turned it on again while I was here, so I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking watch it. So I guess it's got some sort of rewatchability to it because I did watch it again. So
I
and the
wouldn't,
second
be that mad
or the
watching it.
original, I gave it 4 just because it's a fucking blast.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's a classic
Hell yeah.
80s.
It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
I just wanted to talk a
good.
little
I'll add
Roadhouse
those to
since we
my
both
list.
watched it.
I was gonna watch those, and I feel like it would be appropriate because I'm also planning on watching both Blade Runners too. I don't know. The first one came out probably around the same time as the first Roadhouse, so like,
Yeah. I guess before you go, Alex, do you guys want to kind of talk the next director that we're thinking? What are you
Yeah.
guys thinking?
do
So
that.
are we thinking somebody more artsy this time? Or
The
'cause I
first
have one
two
in
that popped
mind.
into my mind is like, oh, I kind of want to go through their shit. I mean, I want to go through everybody's, but like Nolan and Villeneuve are two that I'm kind of like
Okay.
itching for, but I'd be open
Yeah.
to anything. So
I'd be open to Villeneuve just because I have been kind of rewatching his shit. But also
Damn.
Malik is kind of like on my want to get taken care of list. So
I see.
I
you
could
know,
be
that
down
might
for Villeneuve. But I don't know if I'm gonna be out for the next one. I don't want to like prevent you guys from doing the one that you want to do too. So,
I mean, we can hold
but I
off
guess
if you're
like
coming
if you
back.
want to
if
do
you
a
wanna-
different one, I mean, I'd be down
Right.
to do Villeneuve like after. But
Okay, I'm down for that. Nolan was one I kind of want to just go through because his movies are all pretty fun and good, and I want to just like watch them again. But
fun and good.
most of them, at least. Malik, I am interested. I'm just worried that it will be a harder dive than the Coens even was. But
I think it's going to be,
yeah,
and I think you're probably right. There's just like Thin Red Line that's like regarded as like one of the better like war movies, and I'm just super interested in that. And then what's the one with Brad Pitt in
Tree of
it? Was
Life.
it Tree of Life? I heard like good things about that. I just hear it's pretty unique, and
Yeah,
like the Coens, they aren't like super unique. I mean, they have their bag and they stay in it. So I guess I was just trying to branch out and think of something
sure.
like that's kind of,
we haven't really
I don't
hit
know.
since Kubrick. I'd say we haven't really hit one that's like outside our comfort zone yet.
Right, right.
So I could
Yeah.
be down to maybe do that.
Malik only has 10 movies too, so
It's not that many.
yeah, it wouldn't be too long.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
could
I'd
be
be
down.
then.
I don't
Take
know.
a-
I haven't
take a
heard of
gander.
most of these.
yeah.
Oh
Sleep
wow,
on
there's like a huge gap between. I guess he. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is just what I'm seeing on Wikipedia. He made some movies in the 70s
Mhm.
and then didn't make one until 1998. The Thin
Yeah.
Red Line.
Damn.
Yeah.
He has a very unique way of making films too, which I kind of want to see what it's about.
Wow.
so-
And then,
That's what
like-
I'm most interested about is his like how he goes about doing it because I hear it's
Mhm.
pretty
pretty
different.
loose. Yeah.
So check
Yeah.
this out. Based on the dates, 4 of his movies came out between 1973 and 2005, and then the last 6 of his movies came out between 2011 and 2019.
Damn.
Really.
So like 6 of his
Started
movies came out in the
cooking.
span of 8 years,
Hmm.
and then in the span of like 30 fucking years, he's only put out 4. I know it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I wonder what was
got
up.
back to it. He made
Yeah.
it. He made his nut, and then like he burnt through all the money.
Wow,
and then,
even
fuck, I
like
gotta
as
do it.
writer, he's got 3 movies from the early 70s, and then the last 2 are 2002 and 2004. Just weird.
Got big name actors in his movies too, which is another hook, I guess.
I guess this says he's also written scripts for other directors. Well, I guess that's not really. I don't know. There's not much on here about him, so.
Yeah. Well, let's tentatively say Malik. We'll talk again, confirm next week for sure. But
All right. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Pray about it. We'll get
Yeah.
back. We'll get back on it.
yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, all right, man. If you want to get out of here.
Yeah. Later, boys.
Yeah,
Yo,
deuces.
see ya.
Talk to you next week.
Yeah.
We're just doing the
Okay.
Coens, right? And then ranking next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, and murder? And
what?
monster. And
Or
monster?
I mean, we can do that, or we can wait another week. It's up to
Oh,
you,
okay.
whatever.
Cool. That sounds good.
Do cones.
All right.
Finish them off.
going.
Man.
Later. You guys watch anything
Wait,
you
in the
want to talk
rankings,
about?
right?
Yeah.
What's
yeah,
that?
and rankings.
In the rankings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You guys watch anything you want to talk about, or should we sign off as well? What you thinking?
I just restarted watching Game of Thrones because I was bored.
Oh, hell yeah. I actually put on Hot D.
Hey.
I don't know.
Got the
And
Game
yeah,
of
I
Thrones
just
fever.
like being in that world,
Westeros.
you know?
It's such
Yeah.
a cool universe, man.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know. I
spe-
don't know. Hot D has that magic for me. I can't.
It's a little more corporate
Gotcha.
feeling. A
Yeah.
little more
yeah.
lazy. It just feels like the extension of what was happening in the last few seasons of Game of Thrones, like as far as
Mhm.
like scheduling and filmmaking and like
Pacing and stuff.
and intent and
I guess I could
I'm
see
excited
that, but also I
for the
don't
next
know.
one.
I feel like it seems I don't know.
Good
It's-
enough.
It
It's
seems
better than
yeah, I
most
feel like
other
it's
TV
definitely
shows, though.
better than like
Yeah.
the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones.
I'd say
Oh,
so.
yeah, I'll give it- yeah, for sure.
At least the last season, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, also fucking wild. I was reading it, I think yesterday, a timeline of George R.R. Martin's like what
Writing.
he's been saying about fucking Winds of Winter and
It's been
like the
going on for like
comics for the
15
last
years.
like 12 years. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it'll come out like by the end of next year in like 2012." And I'm like, "What the fuck,
Yeah.
dude?" Like
And then he's just constantly posting fucking like football chat. It like on his blog. He's like talking about American
like
football.
right? Like what the fuck else is he
George.
doing? Like
George.
is he writing other shit? Like what other projects is he actually working on?
I think similar. He just made a shit ton of money finally on his Game of Thrones and other stuff, and he's like, I don't really need to work that hard anymore, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit and watch
Take a
football.
step
I honestly
back.
think he's just afraid of ending this book because like
Maybe he doesn't know how.
I think
Yeah.
so. Because I think like the original end was probably what he had in mind, which I feel like we've talked about before. But
Yeah, yeah.
He's got his like books like shoot out into like I want to say 20 to 30 extra storylines than what the show like goes for. So like even his shit is like multiple layers and multiple characters and storylines that's like way harder to tie it up even than the show did. So it's like
gotcha.
a lot of fucking work I assume for him, but he did it to himself. So
I can't imagine that would be such a bad ending for the books to have Bran be, just because the show fumbled the bag. I don't know.
yeah, I mean they could have done
He could
more
like
effective
just
ending.
put more work into it too, like add
Mhm.
some minute details, maybe
Right.
change a few things,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean like, yeah, fuck.
If you're interested in what David Benioff and DB Weiss are up to, though, I was talking to Joe about it. The Three Body Problem is on Netflix now, and I watched that show. And
I
it's
put
a,
it on my list.
Yeah.
So.
it's a sci-fi concept. It was written by a Chinese author a few years back. It's dense sci-fi, so
Yeah.
you'd have to be on board for it. But they kind of did a similar thing to Game of Thrones, where they just like chiseled it down to be like, palatable
right.
for TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
pretty cool. It's got cool concepts and stuff, decent acting.
Oh, I have been watching Shogun too. Forgot about that.
What do you
I started
think?
that up. I kind of like it so far.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring.
It is.
I'm not
It
as
is a little
like
boring.
hooked as I thought I'd be,
Is it
Mhm.
like pretty much all Japanese?
except for when you got
Yeah.
whatever the captain dude is. Yes, I can't even get that low in my
Yeah.
voice. It's like he's
Which,
fucking
like,
going extra.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I watched it with subtitles. It's just I don't know. I
Hard
like
to follow.
and you
Yeah.
like really have to pay attention because you
Yeah.
have to read all of the dialogue.
Yeah, or
so.
else you miss something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
a cool time
at least
period.
it is very cool.
Yeah, Edo period Japan is fucking badass.
Yeah. I was
The
just
sets
hoping.
are sweet.
Yeah. All the costume, all that.
Mm.
Yeah. I was just expecting, at least in these first, 5 episodes, at least by like the third or fourth, I was like, okay, why aren't we like in the conflict of
Yeah,
shit yet?
we've basically stuck with the captain and his like romantic journey with whoever he's like with and we keep going back to the same like plot line almost.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
should
not going
definitely,
anywhere.
Maybe they're
should
just like
leave it.
stretching it out. I've heard this is based on a book, but I don't know if it's like a series or if it's just one book.
I don't know either.
Okay.
But maybe they're trying to just I don't know stretch out the material. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't
That's a-
actually watched it, so I
Mhm.
don't know. I can't really like speak for it. So.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm all about the streamlined pace. Don't like make it too fast, but don't. I'd rather have a way
Yeah.
faster show that you leave some details out and I have to put it together in my head than
Yeah.
a way too long show where it's like just fucking tell me something new.
Yeah.
Like you just cut out the
yeah.
fat, you know?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
seriously. But it's
Yeah.
it's good. The production value is like super good. You
It's
can
on
tell they
point.
put a lot into it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, maybe it'll pick up near the end of the season
I would hope. Yeah.
and kind of, yeah.
Been
Cool.
watching Invincible. You boys been on the Invincible
Oh, shit,
train?
man.
Yeah, I watched the new episode today. Actually,
I have not seen the last one yet. I've seen
it
two.
was
I'll have to
fucking
catch up.
wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
excited.
kind of. It was actually pretty fucking wild. Yeah.
I mean, I think they might only be doing one more episode.
I think it's only 8 episodes
Yeah.
total in the season. Yeah.
So it might be or might be like climaxing to some epic
You know,
shit here. I assume.
I will say, like, this show is good. This new episode, like, I don't know. I don't know. There's just this scene where they go to a Comic-Con and there are people like dressed up as Invincible, and it's like really cheesy and corny. And I don't know, it's just like a weird tone because they're like making fun of like superhero
Cons.
stuff or people who are like into superhero stuff.
Mm.
But also like those are the people who watch their show. So like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like good-natured fun, but like it almost felt
Mean.
like too much
Yeah.
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys watch it and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also just like this whole like meta sequence at the Comic Con, which is actually kind of funny because like they're talking about. I think that it's kind of like a low key reference to why the second half of the season took so long, or why just the whole season in general took so long.
They're
Because like
drawing
there's a
or something.
dude talking about their animation and how long it takes, and like basically they
Mm.
hold something in front of their mouth so they don't have to animate the mouths moving, and they're just like this saves like money. So
Yeah.
like
Funny.
yeah,
That's
it's
good.
actually pretty funny.
Nice.
But
I'll,
yeah,
I'll,
then
I'll
like,
see what it
there's
feels
just
like.
like other like
Yeah.
twists and turns that I like about it, but like some of the dialogue is just like kind of fuck
Bad.
for me. I feel like I don't know. There's a series in this, or a scene in this episode between like Mark and his mom, and she is like talking about her relationship with like Omni Man and like when they first got to know each other and shit.
Mm.
And then she's like, and we wanted to have you, but, and I'm just like, whenever you say those sequence of words to your kid, that's like fucked up, dude. Like, like
Yeah.
that's, and this is just a normal situation between the two, and I'm like, that's like some fucked up dialogue. That should have been
Yeah.
checked. I don't know, like, so like, I feel like I've kind of just like reestablished what this show is like and what's good about it because like it's kind of just like the overarching story. The dialogue's not really that great,
Mhm.
but like the overarching story is cool, and the things
Right.
that happen in it are cool and
That's fair.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
true. I think also like it is obviously a superhero story, but in similar ways to like other shit where it's like it's kind of deconstructing it in a way or like not taking it as like seriously, or it just like doesn't give a shit. Like it kills the whole Justice League in the first episode, and that to me is like a
Mhm.
middle finger to like other comic stuff, you know? So it's like
Mhm.
Yeah,
they're kind of been thumbing their nose at it the whole time a little bit, but I can get what you mean.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
yeah. I don't know.
So-
So far though, I've been liking it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know.
It's a good
Me
show.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
pumped
it.
for the boys, man. I'm ready for the
Yeah,
next
me
season of
too.
the boys. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, is this supposed to be the last season, or is there like, is that not
know.
like
I
confirmed?
feel like they'd announce that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's
Okay.
got to be at least like one more because they are doing another season of Gen V. I heard too, so they got a little
Gotcha.
bit of time to work
I can
with.
see that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Pretty much the only other thing I've been watching. I watched the new X-Men show,
Hmm.
and I've been liking it. It's pretty cool.
Is it
The
animated?
animation's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just a continuation of the old show. The old show had like five seasons, I think, and it ran from like 1992 to 1997. So this one is called X-Men 97 because it's supposed to pick up like where the other one left off.
Nice.
And like I don't know, it actually like seems like there are stakes for like the characters and stuff. I don't know. It seems kind of real, like in that the characters go through actual like emotional shit.
That's good.
And like
Yeah.
it's cool because the X-Men, this show really like it's really heavy on them being fucking outcasts because people fucking hate mutants like to a fucking way higher degree in the show.
Nice.
And I don't know. I kind of like the like I don't know.
That intensity.
Yeah, and just like the relatability, I guess,
Mm.
for I don't know people of
Yeah.
like I don't know different
Like other
groups of
races
people.
or other. Is
Yeah.
that like kind of what they're getting at? Like
Yeah, I
other
guess,
groups
yeah.
of people.
Yeah, just pretty much any group in
Marginal.
general. I feel like.
Yeah.
But then they did this cool thing because like the first show, the first episode is like with Jubilee and she's like just getting her powers and shit, and like shit's going down, and like I don't know, she gets like taken by some Sentinels or some shit, and I don't know, she meets up with like Xavier, and they're like showing her the ropes of being a mutant and shit. So like this new show, like the first episode, there's like a new character kind of who's like a mutant and kind of like figuring out their shit. And like Jubilee is like the first one to like explain to them the stuff. So it was kind of like a nod to like the original show, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah. I think that's that's a hugely anticipated show for the fans that really loved it in the 90s or whatever. So it's cool that's back. Hopefully,
Dude,
can
and
carry the torch.
Cyclops is actually like one of my favorite characters.
Dude,
Cyclops is like pretty fucking good, and I'm glad that like some form of X-Men media can actually do Cyclops like right.
Like takes it seriously. Right? Yeah.
Dude, him and like he's got like two brothers. I don't know, and like the description of his powers in the comics are so badass.
Yeah,
the way they work and shit. He's basically got like miniature not stars, or it's like miniature galaxies or stars that are in his eyes.
That's
something
like badass.
That's basically why, like, when he opens his eyes, if they're not contained by a certain device, like the energy just is uncontrollable and just released.
Unlimited.
Yeah, so he's like him and his brothers literally have like this power they can't. I mean, like most mutants, I guess, but I don't know. It was just like just dope shit like that.
Yeah, it's nice to hear like people are actually thinking about the characters in a way that like X-Men blockbuster movies just feel like not real people, you know, or like I guess the first X-Men's pretty good. But
well, like
to just be
I don't know, like in this show, there's only 3 episodes out, but like Cyclops and Jean are like having a kid. Like Jean is pregnant, and like she has the kid in the first episode, I think. And it's like Nathan Summers. It's like supposed to be Cable. And just like some weird shit happens where like a clone of Jean shows up because of Mr. Sinister. And like, I don't know, Cyclops and the rest of the X-Men are just like dealing with a ton of like traumatic shit because like Magneto just moved into their house and like Xavier is fucking dead. So they're just like, holy fuck. Storm lost her fucking powers. So Storm is just gone. And they're just, so shit is like gone down. Like shit is going down. And like this fucking random Jean shows up and they're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like this is just a lot going on. Like who the fuck are you? But like
there's too many plot lines and I can't fucking handle it.
The fucking original Jean is kind of like losing her shit because she's like, I'm the fucking real Jean. Who is this bitch? And like we're all going through some shit, so like nobody really believes me, and I have to like prove myself, even though like I'm the real fucking Jean. And Cyclops is just like totally like trying to diffuse the situation and be cool with everybody. And he's like, I know you're all right. Like he's trying to like calm her down and shit. And she's just like pissed off at him. And he's just like, I'm just trying to do what's right for like everybody and you.
I see a
and
future where we could have 2 Jeans in our house. What do you think, honey?
I don't know. It's just like interesting. Like how they like play Cyclops is almost like Superman, where he's just like an extremely good person, but he's like actually like pretty fucking strong, and
he's supposed to be more like central to the X-Men, right? Like
I mean he's like the fucking X-Men leader, like
he feels like kind of like an offshoot or to like Wolverine in the movies at least.
Exactly, right? Because like you want Wolverine to succeed in the movies, and like you want fucking Wolverine to end up with Jean, because like Cyclops is like a piece of shit in the fucking movies. So like
it's nice to see like the characters getting their full like due. Maybe I'll pick it up. Is it worth it to jump in at this new one?
I think show. I think you could.
Yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't. I mean,
cool.
A lot of like the arcs from the old one are like 1 or 2 episode arcs, and really the only thing you need to know is that Xavier died, I think, at the end of the show.
Okay.
I'm sure they talk about that in the first episode.
That's right? Immediately at the beginning of the first episode. So
they get a Star Wars scroll. Charles Xavier has died. Magneto has somehow returned.
Yeah. I think that's all I've been watching though.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I said it earlier, but Ex Machina was in theaters last night. They did like a 1-night event at the AMC.
Yeah, you saw it in IMAX?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Sound design was sick, and I'd never seen it in theaters before, so it's like it's a good
Yeah,
experience.
I saw that they
Oh,
were
yeah.
doing that and Annihilation and Uncut Gems too.
Oh,
Uncut Gems,
shit.
and it
Yeah,
was
or was it
Hereditary.
Annihilation?
Yeah,
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Oh shit, dude! Oh
Mhm.
god, I'd be pooping my pants if I saw Hereditary.
They
Might have
did
to go
that.
see both of those because I didn't see either in theaters. So
Yeah, I would
that'd be
love to
cool.
see Uncut.
Oh
Uncut
god,
Gems, that
I'd
would
just
be
be like
yeah.
freaking out. Like, is she behind me in this corner of the theater? Like,
Dark ass room. But yeah,
oh
Ex
fuck.
Machina, great movie, 5 stars still. Even after the rewatch, I just love that movie so much. It's so cool,
That's a good
so
one.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Shall we sign off for the night?
Yeah, I think that's. I haven't been watching much else other than that stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Well, good talking. We will be back next week for the last Coen dive.
Be
Thanks
there,
for
be
listening.
square,
Yeah, be there,
Yeah.
be square. Hell yeah.
nerds.
Nerds.
Dude, you're alienating the audience. Oh my god.